Hey, what's going on, everybody? Gemini here, and welcome back to the channel. As promised, I am here sharing my build and tune video on this 2002 Chevy Camaro, the 25th anniversary edition. I built and tuned this for Road America, but it does pretty well on other tracks. I had a previous build and tune, but it didn't give me such as good of a time as this build and tune. I finished this thing last week. I took my time with it, and I can't get this thing to go any faster. It's good for a top 90th in Europe and 190th overall in the world. This is more of a speed tune than a handling tune, but it still handles really well with my tuning abilities. I cannot get this thing to handle any better. It also does really well on Watkins Glen, the full circuit. For all my tuning, I don't use ABS, traction control, or stability. I'm going to start off with the build. Then after the build, I'll be providing you with the adjustments for the tune. After the tuning, I'll be showing you a replay of my fastest lap on Road America. That's pretty much it for now, so let's get started with the build. Alright guys, so let's get started here on the build, and I'm going to start off with the conversions. And we have a stock engine, no swap on the engine here. Over to the drivetrain, it's also going to be stock since it's a rear wheel drive. Over to the aspiration conversion, we are going to upgrade on the centrifugal supercharger. Over to aero and appearance, we're going to add the front and rear Forza wings, allowing us to adjust our downforce. Over to the bonnet, we are going to have a stock bonnet. It's a shame we couldn't take off those extra 6 pounds, but we are not able to. That's going to bump us up to S-Class at 701. Tires and rims, we're going to go with the Sport tire compound. Stock tire width on the front, and we're going to upgrade the rear tire width to 325s. For the rims, let me see what I went with. I went with the Borbet, light aluminum wheels, the CB rims, or you can choose another rim in the same weight category. Over to rim size, we got stock rim size in the front, and we got stock rim size in the rear as well. Over to the drivetrain, we got no clutch. Once again, if you know me, I don't use or upgrade on the clutch because I already race with manual with clutch. And from what I heard and from my experiences test driving, I don't notice any difference, especially in my lap times, upgrading to race clutch or any other clutch, so I tend to leave this stock. Transmission, we got no transmission upgrade, and it doesn't need it. The gearing on this stock transmission is pretty decent and works well on many tracks. Over to the drive line, we got a street drive line. And of course, we got our race differential. I did a upgrading guide on how I build my cars about a week ago. If you're interested in that, how I build my cars, pretty useful tips, you can check that out. All of my videos, my Forza 6 videos, are in one playlist, so you can go through them. There's build and tune videos on there, on tunes that I use, and other stuff. Okay, over to platform and handling. Of course, we got the race brakes, the race springs and dampers, the front and rear anti-roll bars. And do we have a roll cage in this one? No, we do not. We're going to go with a stock roll cage and the race weight reduction. Okay, out of here, we're going to go over to the engine. And let's go through the engine upgrades. And we got a stock intake, the air filter, stock fuel system, stock ignition, race exhaust, stock cams and valves, stock valves. We got a race engine block, street pistons and compression, race centrifugal supercharger. We got no intercooler and no oil and cooling. These two upgrades I really never upgrade on. It's very unusual that I do. It adds weight and it just doesn't satisfy me, and it doesn't satisfy the build that I'm looking for. And a stock flywheel. Alright guys, that's the build. And let's go on over to the tune. And we got 29.0 front tire pressure and 28.5 for the rear. No adjustments on the gearing since we have a stock transmission. Over to the alignment, we got negative 1.8 for the front camber and negative 1.3 for the rear. 0.1 front toe and negative 0.1 for the rear. And a caster angle of 5.5. Anti-roll bars, 23.42 on the front and 17.01 for the rear. Over to the springs, we got a front spring stiffness of 739.4 and 629.3 on the rear. Over to the ride height, we got 5.6 for the front and 5.7 for the rear. Over to the damping, for the rebound front stiffness, we got 7.6 and 6.5 for the rear, 5.1 for the front bump stiffness, and 4.3 on the rear. Over to the arrow, we got full adjustment for the front and rear, 200 on the rear and 100 on the front. I don't use ABS, so this is how I normally set up my brakes at 47% balance and 140% pressure. And for the differential at 100% acceleration and 0% deceleration. Alright guys, this is it. Really fast car. It's got a top 100 in Europe and about 190th in the world. It does pretty well on other tracks. Watkins Glen does really well test it out. Give it a shot. Take it on different tracks. I hope it improves your times. It is a leaderboard on certain tracks, excuse me, like Road America. But I don't use traction control, so you normally see these on the top of the leaderboard with people using traction control. You don't need traction control for this thing. Once again, when I tune, I don't use any assists. That's considering no ABS, no traction control, and no stability. The only thing I use is normal steering, which I recommend for people that are using a controller. And I do use the braking line, and that's it. So once again, I hope you guys enjoy this tune, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.